although we... Okay, Dragan, just continue.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Hello, everybody from Belgrade. Welcome to the workshop. Today, we will try to make difference between invention and innovation and how we can make its commercialization. I am Professor Dragan Povrenović from Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy, University of Belgrade, and I was responsible for the organizing of today's workshop. The question is why we from Serbia are working on this topic in our project. First of all, Novelties project leader Mira Petrović said, "You must do it," and it was enough for us in such case. But on the other hand, the University of Belgrade and University of Novi Sad, especially Faculty of Technical Science Novi Sad, and my Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy, in cooperation with the government of Serbia, have 17 years of experience in organizing of competition for the best technological innovation in Serbia. It is our national project that every year trains innovators from Serbia who want to place their innovations on the market. After 17 years, we can be proud of 10,000 participants and over 90 new innovative companies based on participation in our project. Today, you will have the opportunity to get to know some of the elements needed to making innovation. All today's speakers have very rich experience in this field, and I'm sure that you will use this knowledge in your further career. I wish you successful work today. And finally, I have a pleasure to introduce you to Mrs. Milica Mušicki and Mr. Vladimir Nikic, who are very important members of our national organizing team. They will be hosts of today's workshop. Milica and Vlado, if you are ready, you can continue.
Yes, we are ready. I just want to welcome all of you, and I wish you a pleasant day during these sessions.
Good morning from my side. I would like just shortly to present you today's agenda and to give floor to Mrs. Vesna Rašković-Depalov. Today's workshop, titled From an Idea to its Commercialization, consists from two main parts. First part are lectures about innovation management and subject related to it. And second part will be presenting good stories and stories from experienced entrepreneurs who own or who has created some successful innovations. So first lecture will be understanding of innovation and the innovator versus buyer. Then colleagues from the Intellectual Property Office will present patent protection fundamentals. After short coffee break, you'll have opportunity to hear a presentation about business model, which will be held by our colleague from Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy from Belgrade. After lunch break, Professor Voink Schenk from Faculty of Technical Science will present creative problem solving. And after that, you'll have a short online exam related to all topics you heard during the day. And after that, You'll hear Mr. Nikola Stanojevic from Soma company, who will tell you something about his experiences during creation and developing their innovative product. After that, there will be a presentation about available MCAA instruments for supporting entrepreneurship by chair and vice chair of WBC. And at the end, you'll have personal entrepreneurship experience by Ivo Gidrovski and Generoso Janicello. And at the end, you'll hear something about tourism in Serbia and why you should visit Serbia when this COVID situation finish. At the end of this workshop, I'll send you a link and I will ask you just to complete short feedback form, and that would be all planned for today. In case you have any questions or technical problems, you can contact myself or my colleague Milica Mushitsky for any assistance. That's all from my side. Professor Povrenovic, do you have something else, or I can ask Mrs. Depalov to start with lectures?
I think it's time for Vesna.
Vesna, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I will now share my presentation. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, great. Now just to start this. Yes, hopefully everything is okay. Right now, good morning from my side again. It's Monday morning and it's really a rainy day here in Novi Sad. But I think this is a great time and opportunity to speak about innovation and how we understand this term. My name is Vesna, and I'm coming from Faculty of Technical Science, University of Novi Sad. And for the last 17 years, I have been working with researchers and startups and teams who have an invention, who want to apply that on the market and to be in innovative business. Hopefully you can understand now what are the difference between invention and innovation. And this is one of my favorite topics, and it was raised from this 17 years of work with researchers, inventors who created something and they thought that's enough. And when we tackle the question of what's new in your innovative product, process, technology, they could not easily say what is it. So it was really challenging during this period working with them to come up with what is new, what they created new in their inventions. And upon that, we will have some examples from companies that you already know, or some new, in order to make clear the distinction between what is novelty, what is invention, what is innovation, where we can put that in technology readiness level, etc., etc. Hopefully this is an interesting topic for you, and we will cover in this 55 minutes these topics. And the main thing that connect all these topics is how to this buzzword innovation understand clearly and how to define exactly what is invention, innovation, novelty, and why customers are part of that, and why we should think about innovation from inventor shoes and from customer shoes when we are talking about innovation. But first, I would like to hear from your side, what do you think that innovation is? I will give you choices. Is it A, a patent, B, prototype, C, implemented invention, sorry. You can put your answers in the chat, or you can speak to say A, B, C.
Implemented innovation, something that already reached the market.
Okay, thank you very much. C, oh great. B, C, okay. I see your answers in chat. B, okay. C, great. Most of you.
What? To unmute yourself is there.
Sorry, I didn't understand this. Can you repeat? No, okay. So you're right. Most of you are right. Innovation is implemented in invention. Why it's not enough patent? We have an innovative idea, and it's not enough. It is just idea which I patent. Or maybe I made a prototype. So I have proof that everything what I came up is true. And it has such and such functionalities. And it has also some competitive advantages. So everything is clear. But if it's not put on the market or in internal use for making business upon it, then we cannot speak about innovation. So only if this novelty is implemented on the market, then we'll speak about innovation. I would like to start with a broader perspective, which hopefully will give you an idea why it's important to speak about innovation, not invention, and how it can reflect your day job. All of you started with the knowledge. And upon that knowledge, you came up with an innovative idea. And if you made a prototype, then you made an invention, which has its functionalities, its a list of competitive advantages in technological sense. But if you stop there, then we cannot speak about innovation anymore. It's only an invention left. When you put on the market or is in internal use for making business, for example, you made an innovative technology upon which you create product that you will sell on the market, then it's innovation. So you're not selling technology, but products from that technology. And if you want to scale up your business, then you go further. So here in this, hopefully you can see my mouse. Here, when we are talking about scaling up and innovation, then you are in spin-off or a company that are making money upon your invention. In order to go through all these stages, you need knowledge. Knowledge of the state of the art concerning technology, patents of others who are on the market already or not. What I was really surprised. I saw that most, in 99% of the inventors didn't exactly know what is the state of the art in their field. So it is really important in order to state I have an invention, and also, especially if you are going on the market, to say, well, this is different from existing products, existing technologies in that, and that. And that will communicate with the investors, with the customers, with the potential business partners. Also, especially when we are talking about going on the market, you need to know what are the customers, who are the competitors, and how to find a way to put your invention on the market. And of course, if you are trying to scale up your business, you need to know how to speak with investors if you try or want to go in that path for scaling up your businesses. So in either way, if you are finishing your journey here, and hopefully not, or you are in this direction, knowledge is something that is important, not only for creating an invention, but also in creating innovation. And hopefully this today workshop will give you an idea how to do that. If you remember, this year a European Innovation Council is established, and they try to foster especially breakthrough innovations on the market. And they say it's enough really to measure only R&D expenditures. So this part, we want to have much more innovation, so that are on the market and that they are making business upon. Hopefully this broader perspective was insightful for you, or it's that we can continue this innovation terminology to go into detail. Is it okay? You can understand me, hear me? Is it fine with you to continue working like this? Just say yes, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you,
yes.
thank you. So you are here, great. Where is the core of innovative product process? Where is the source? The source is in novelty. Upon that novelty, you can create a prototype, which has its functionalities, which has its technological advantages. But if we stay there, we'll speak only about invention. In order to speak innovation, I need to know what is the value proposition for my customers of those innovative products, services, technologies that I create. So let's go deeper in each of these layers of an innovation. First layer is novelty. So where is the source? Where is what's new in that innovative product and services? It doesn't mean that everything is new. Maybe it's something to improve. Maybe it's component or tool. Maybe it's infrastructure, way how you connected those elements, or brand new. But it's very important to be aware to know what's new, what you created. So it's a part of innovative idea where new change occurred. That is novelty. And it is protected by the intellectual property rights, let's say patent. Upon this, you go into experiment and you make a prototype which will prove or not your assumptions. And at the end, you will have a prototype who will have, or invention, who will have all those functionalities that you are listing. And that you have measurable quantity, measurable items that you can say, well, this my innovative product have that and that technological advantages. For example, 30% faster, 2 times less use of some gases, let's say. So it's very important to have a measurable technological advantages that you can list. Not to say, okay, it's believe me on word, it will be better than the existing products on the market. And what is value proposition? It is job to be done to the customers. So why someone who is a customer would like to buy your product, innovative product or service? They are not buying features of your innovative technology. They are buying the solution for their problem. And what are their problems? I don't know. We have to ask them and to figure out, can we solve with this innovation that we created, can it solve their problem? And just to summarize again all of this, if we are speaking about novelty, it's a part of innovative idea. If we are speaking about functionalities of the product and technology advantages, we are speaking about invention. And if we are putting that on the market and have values for the customers, then we are talking about innovation. Hopefully, just to say where is concerning the technology readiness level. Innovative idea covers TRL from 1 to 3, invention from 4 to 7, and innovation from 8 to 9. Do you have any questions about this, or we can continue with the next? Hopefully it's clear enough. So again, an example, because without example, we can say, okay, maybe I understand this, but how it's in practice used. This product is from 3 scientists who spent 7 years of research, 60 pages of writing upon these findings that they came up. But through this terminology, through these layers, I will tell you what's about, what they created. The novelty in their innovation, I can say that innovation, because they are on the market, is a mixture. So it's enough to say that novelty is in the mixture. You can say, from their example, they use 3 plants, so 100% is natural mixture, but no more, because other things are intellectual property and should be patented, or somehow it's a secret. So you are not telling what kind of mixture, what are the elements, or anything else. Only that the novelty is in mixture. They made a capsule which will, which is for solving the problem with Helicobacter pylori infection. They stated, and they can prove these advantages, that it is 80% useful or efficient, that there is no side effects, that if you are taking those pills, it will not, you will not need any probiotics, etc., etc. There are least much more than this. But if we are speaking about that and they made only that on their faculty and not going into the market, then it's only invention that they came up. They last year they went on the market first through online selling, but now they are hopefully they made contract with a distributor for a domestic market, and now we are working for finding distributors for the foreign market. But what is the value proposition from again from their customers? I don't want a bag full with antibiotics which will not permanently resolve my problem. They are not speaking that they are wishing something innovative or wishing something herbal or anything else. No, they want to solve their problem, nothing else. And they have to find a way how to present their product in that innovative product in that way. Hopefully this was clear for making this layers of innovation much more clear. I can say innovation in this way. It's not a matter of defining innovation, but just to go deeper in seeing what we can miss if we say only innovation like that. Innovation is something new that creates value. What we mean by something? Is it a new product, new process, innovative marketing, innovative business model, innovative organization, or something else? So these are types of innovation that we can come up. Of course, today we'll speak only about this technological part of innovation, but I will stress why those non-technological innovations are also very important if you are going into innovative business. Second important thing in this, let's say, definition is that is something new. That new can be in your organization, faculty, in your business, in your country, in your region, or it's new worldwide. So here we are speaking about degrees of innovation, and it's not unimportant, it's very important. What is the degree of your innovation? And we will go further that in a few minutes. And third part, which is very important, it's value that it is created, whether it is for the company, so using innovative technology in order to build products that you will sell to the customers, or for the customers, you are making innovative products which you will sell to them. And very important part, and today we should not speak about anything else than we should, when you're speaking about innovation, we should speak about sustainable innovation, which eventually serve to protecting our planet. So in these layers, we will go further. And most cited innovation definition is from Otto Mengel. But why, again, third time, I will go into an innovation, and you are familiar with this definition, is because it's just three important things. First, it should be implemented. And in paragraph 150, they state that it is in the company or on the market. it says where is the novelty and how much is this new to the market? Is it brand new, or there's something in between that we also came up? And also it stresses what type of innovation we are speaking about. And plastically, we can put here 4 types of innovation that often manual stress. I will just emphasize that these 2, product and process innovation, are technological innovation, and marketing and organizational innovation are non-technological innovation. I will not go further in this because it would take us time to go into details about this. But I will just add to this 2 also non-technological innovation, without which we will not have an Apple, we will not have Uber, Tesla, etc. And first, and what kind of innovation is that? It's a business model innovation. Today, you will have a chance to hear about business model, so I will not go in detail about this, but just to be aware that having an invention, even radical one, so really brand new, you cannot make a successful business without non-technological innovation. In the first place, I'm speaking about business model innovation. Also, I put here open innovation, something that you are mostly familiar with when you are in Horizon projects. This is one part of open innovation. When you together different universities, SMEs, create something new that you bring on the market. This is one way. Another way, which I think it could be very interesting for you, is licensing your invention to other companies, which is really way how you can create your business. But there are some things that you have to pay attention if you are willing to go in that direction, especially IP rights, and you will hear about that in the next session. So I will not go further in that. So those are types of innovation, but it's not enough. When we are speaking about innovation, we have to be aware how new we created for the market. Is it an incremental degree of innovation or breakthrough, disruptive, a radical innovation that we create? I said it's not unimportant what degree of innovation you created, because it will affect your business, how to put that innovation on the market. So I will give you an example. What is incremental degree of innovation? It means that you significantly improve something that can be copied in less than 1 year. No one came up with that idea, but so it's because of that, it is called incremental innovation, not improvement. If you improve something, give some features, then it's not innovation, it's not something new. So incremental innovation, degree of innovation, means that you significantly improve something that could be easily copied in less than 1 year. Bioreactor is one of the examples. and they improve something that no one came up with that idea, but it can be copied by the experts in the field in less than 1 year. So if we have such kind of innovation, then we really need to be fast in the market in order to find customers for our product. Another example here is mixture or composition of mixture that covers tunnels through which gas from fire will go through. There are so many mixtures that will cover those pipes, but they came up with something new, better, which has better technological advantages, but it can be easily, or let's say easily copied in less than 1 year. So these are incremental degree of innovation. I will give you now an example from for modular degree of innovation. Modular degree of innovation means that novelty is in one or several components in the existing products or the existing markets, but there is a need for substantial new knowledge in order to create that kind of component. That component cannot be easily copied by the experts in less than 1 year. Cannot be. And because of that, it's a higher level, higher degree of the innovation. And it's something that it's not be easily copied. For example, when we are looking products, analog and digital form, they are looking the same. They mostly have the same elements, but only one component is changed. And this is how information is transformed. That's the novelty part. We are not speaking how it's done because it's intellectual property. Again, when we are talking about bicycle, we are not speaking about first bicycle because it could be here. That's brand new first bicycle that appeared. We are talking here about pedal that firstly implemented on the bicycle, and because of that, new knowledge was required and could not be copied in less than 1 year. Do you have any questions about this modular degree of innovation? Was it clear? What does it mean? Yes, no?
Yeah, to me, super clear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully it is also useful. So we are going on the level, on spectrum of novelty much higher, and this is architectural degree of innovation. What does it mean? I didn't came up with any component new. I just figure out how to put those components in different organization, or I use someone else's component or processes from other industry and implement it here in this technology. I made brand new architect of or system of the like a product, and it could not be copied in less than 1 year. Examples. So hopefully this is, so we have components which are reorganized in different way, or someone else process used and combined with existing product elements of the product. Example is Apple's computer of downloading music, or IBM PC. So IBM was in the business of creating mega computers, and they had to figure out how to put in a small scale on PC. So it's new knowledge that was required in order to create innovative product, which we are using today. Architectural innovation is something that is really interesting to see. Hard to find examples because it's not so easy to find so many details in companies' reviews about their innovations. But hopefully this is enough to understand what architectural innovation, a degree of innovation means. For example, Tesla is so as combination of modular and architectural innovations in their business. So let's say they combine those two things. And radical or breakthrough or discontinuous, these are the synonyms about this radical degree of innovation. We are speaking about not first radio, TV, bicycle, but first implemented on the market. First implemented on the market. Okay, I will just briefly tell you that there is another degree of innovation, and maybe you heard disruptive innovation, and Netflix, iPhone, Uber, Linux are some of the examples of disruptive innovation. But what does it mean? It means that they distract through their inventions and much more through their business model innovation, existing competitors on the market. And some markets are changing or disappearing upon those kind of disruptive innovation. Because it's a part of business model terminology, I will not go further in that. But just to be clear that there are different types of degrees of innovation. And now we're to combine all those things. We were speaking about types of innovation, product, process, marketing, business model, etc. And here we are speaking about degrees of innovation. If I made an innovation in the technology, and in that technology, I made some new component or few components, then I'm speaking about a modular degree of process innovation. So I will not go as, I will give you an example. For example, some example from non-technological part of type of innovation. First, use of QR code on product packaging. This is marketing innovation. This is that kind of part, but it could be easily and is easily copied. So we are speaking about incremental marketing innovation. What's about Ford Model T? They didn't come up with a first car. They did innovation in the production line. Because of that, they are in the process type of innovation. And why it's in disruptive part is because they caused such distraction in the market that carriage with the horses disappeared. So they changed how industry or new market they established in the market. Another example is iPhone. Again, we always think about a technological part of iPhone, but what's really new in their business is business model innovation. And they disrupted competitors on the market with their product. So what way Apple choose to go into introduction MP3 player on the market? With the feature or with the values? What do you think? Should I repeat the question?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. When they introduced Apple, when they introduced MP3 player, did they went on the market telling to us as a customers, we have a new MP3 player with so many gigabytes and many other features? Or did they sold us through value? Through how we can use this product for our purposes.
I think it was user interface innovation.
Okay. I heard also one more voice.
Yes, I will say that they will just show what are the benefits when you buy this product.
Yeah, of course, of course. So there are only a few geeks, sorry, technological geeks, but really in good sense, that likes features. Is it 16, 32, 102 gigabytes and many other features, but it's not selling the product. What's selling is how you will transform those information into the things that I can understand as a customer. I can party for 18 hours. I mean, for some customers, this is information that is valid for them. For me, it's something else. So what's very important to memorize that when you create some technology, don't speak with the customer about features and great functionalities and great product advantages that they cannot with your innovative technology. Instead of that, understand what job you should done for them in order to find a way how to present this innovative product or feature. Different customers have this different, let's say, way of using innovative product for their purposes. For technological geeks, give me only features, but there are few, you cannot build your business upon them. There are a few of those customers. Also here we have someone customer who can make business upon of that. And they heard, this your innovative technology is great. I know this and those. I can connect with this and that. We can make together business. So they are not really customers. They are potentially business partners that you can make a business. And here we have a pragmatic type of customers that are mainly on the market who want to hear how this can resolve my problem that I have. And we can go further. I will not go in that direction and I will not speak about that. I just want to say, in order to speak about innovation, you need to speak the language of your customer. And the first language that you need to speak is pragmatic speak with your customer. And what is this chasm? 90% of startups in the world finish in this, they are calling death wallet. Why? Because they cannot speak the language with the real customers. Doesn't want to hear about features. They only want to hear about how or can this solve my problem, my protective problem, as individual or as a company that I have. Okay, do you have any questions about this? Maybe I just went very quickly through this, but hopefully this just was an invitation for exploring this kind of thinking or ability or knowledge how to speak with customers. Do you have any questions or suggestions? Or I will have for you. No? Okay. So please, can you answer me this? Upon all things that you heard from this until now, is someone with one or many patents an innovator? Can we call someone who has patent? Can we call him or her innovator? Are you there? Are you awake?
Yeah, there are some answers in the chat, but
oh, great! Sorry, I did not see. Sorry. No. Okay.
I guess it's a tricky question because you it's not exclusive, so you could call them an innovator, but not necessarily.
Mm-hmm. When can you call an innovator? When?
It will depend if, for example, one of the patents are successfully reach the market. We could say that it's innovator, but if any of the patents didn't reach the market, so it's no innovator because none of these patents reached the market.
Yes, you're totally right. But if we are speaking about only I have patents, too many, I know too many researchers who are telling me, well, I had 10 patents, 15, 2, 3, and they are calling them an innovators. So if they didn't put that on the market, then they are only an inventor or inventor. So the correct answer on this question is no. If we have only person with the patent. What do you say about this? Is someone who is innovative also an inventor? So they have an innovative business, but is there necessarily an innovator also?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have another type of innovation, not innovation, mm-hmm. But you can, I don't know, to significantly improve one product and then you already have an innovation, an existing product.
Mm-hmm. So when you hear, if I understood you correctly, when you hear word invention, then you think it's not so substantially important. And when you have innovation, it's a higher degree of something that you made. Or did I misunderstood you?
What I meant is like, if you have an inventor, it's like he invented the first like product that it released on the market. Mm-hmm. And then an innovator is who took this product and make something better out of it, is what I understood.
Yeah, you're right. So we didn't understand, or maybe I didn't give you well. If you inventing something new and made a business and put that on the market, you're in the same time inventor and innovator. So that's the same. And most of the cases are like that. But there are a situation when a company buys someone else's invention and create business upon it. In that case, they are innovative, but they did not came up on that invention by itself. They bought that from others. And those examples we can hear in many cases from already mentioned companies, etc., etc. So I will not go in details about that. So just to say that sometimes you can buy someone else's invention and make a business upon it, but it cannot be done without non-technological kind of innovation, meaning business model innovation. So again, you should put some innovative thing from your side. Hopefully this was clear from what we were talking about. And here I will give you another research example of two innovators who went and become inventors who become innovators and who created a business here in Serbia, but also they are abroad with their technology. And what they came up is technology, how to better reveal some illegal production practices, let's say sugar or water, in the wine, honey, juices, or strong spirits. And what they accomplished is that they had a green, let's say, light from International Organization of Wine, and they will be in the process of international standard. Their method will be acknowledged as an international standard. And for example, she finished, she's a PhD at Moscow State of University of Food Production, and he finished at the University of Belgrade. And they together created a laboratory here in Pančevo in Serbia, and they will deliver their services upon their innovative technology to domestic and abroad clients. So hopefully this will inspire also you. Do you have any questions before our conclusion or comments? No. In a few seconds you will have.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, for example, in the last example you explained, and it's regarding connected with the last question, is, for example, there are innovators because they use something that is already in the market. Mm-hmm. Maybe this technique is not so popular. It's innovative technique, maybe for the market, for some specific market. Mm-hmm. But they say improve the range of application of this technology. Mm-hmm. in a different market that has more impact, I think. So in this case, there are more innovators, but they are no inventors. And this is more connected with the second question. For example, that's why they have innovation, because they disrupt the way they use this technology, but they didn't invent the technology.
Yeah. You're totally right. Totally right. Great. If there is no other comments, just to conclude today's session upon correct innovation terminology. What is novelty? It's a part of innovative innovation where new change occurred. And that change can be from incremental till radical or breakthrough. Invention is innovative idea transformed into a prototype. So you prove that everything what you came up is really true and it has functionalities and advantages. And an innovation is only invention implemented on the market or for the internal use, and no more and nothing else. Hopefully this was clear, and this will insightful for you, and hopefully will be in connection through LinkedIn, let's say, or through emails. And thank you for your attention. And I just in this 5 minutes how much we have. At the end of this session, can you tell me what was useful for you from this 50 minutes of speak about innovation? So what was useful for you? Was something new or challenging or insightful, or nothing new for you?
I think we're all familiar with the concepts in general, but it's good to kind of materialize in one place what the differences are, because it constructs all the ideas in our heads. It's just easier to think about the concepts when you put them all in one place and discuss the differences. So I think this was quite useful.
Thank you. Thank you. Others?
And yeah. And for me, it was to know that there are different types of innovations, even though maybe I knew, but I didn't know that they're called like this, and that you can have an idea and it can be innovative, or maybe you think that it's not innovative or you cannot bring it to the market, but in the end, yes, you can.
Great, thank you. New answers, new approaches. Is there something that we didn't cover, or you expected something else from this topic? If not, okay, thank you very much for spending this 1 hour on this, for me, very important topic. And hopefully for you. And I wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and to have this broader perspective for your future work in your faculties. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vesna, for the great presentation. Our next speakers are Ms. Mihailovic and Ms. Milovanovic from the Intellectual Property Office of the Republic of Serbia. And the topic is Patent Protection Fundamentals, Search of the Patent Base. So please, you can proceed with your presentation.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Just want to share my screen. Do you see my screen? Is it okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Hello, I would like to welcome you before of the Intellectual Property Office of the Republic of Serbia. And first of all, I would like to thank Professor Rašković Depalov for this great presentation. And now it is clear what is the difference between innovations and inventions. And my name is Aleksandra Mihajlović. I'm Assistant Director in the office, responsible for patent sector. And I work in the office more than 10 years, and I will introduce the competence of our office today. My colleague Nataša Milovanović will tell you more about protection innovation with patents. The academic community naturally generates a lot of innovations, and intellectual property rights should enhance cooperation between academics and industry. This synergy leads to faster dissemination and application of knowledge. As we all know, innovations improve the quality of our lives and should serve for the benefit of everyone. But those who created innovations should be rewarded. And this is the main purpose of intellectual property rights. Protecting innovations with appropriate intellectual property rights brings multiplied benefits for the innovators and for the society. These benefits are reflected in the fact that the right holder can prevent any other person from using his innovation for commercial purposes without his consent. The owner of IP rights may license or sell his innovation, which enables a return on investment in the innovation. For society, the most important benefit is that protected innovations contribute to the dissemination of knowledge and technology.
Sorry, excuse me. Are you changing the slides?
No, this is okay. I will change, but
no.
Okay, I'm just speaking about intellectual property rights, connecting with innovations and academic community. So the owner for society, the most important benefit is that protected innovations contribute to the dissemination of knowledge and technology. And after the expiration of protection, these innovations are free to be used by anyone. And after all those products or services that are protected with IP rights are more competitive on the market. And now I will go on my first slide and speak about our office. And Serbia has a long tradition in the field of intellectual property. Our office was founded in 1920, and in 1883, Serbia was one of 11 countries signatories to the Paris Convention for the protection of industrial property, which is still the most important international agreement in this area. Intellectual Property Office is the only national institution where you can protect your innovations with patents and other IP rights. To successfully manage technical innovations, invest and create new inventions, it is very important that creators are informed whether such an innovation already exists. According to a study conducted by the World Intellectual Property Organization, more than 50% of innovations already existed on the market when they were applied for patents. Having in mind this, to avoid unnecessary resource consumption, both human and material, innovators should be aware of the importance of searching patent documentation. I think that Professor Vesna also mentioned it. And I wanted to say that our office has valuable national databases of patent documentation and also participates in the creation of these bases on the international level. My colleague Natasha will tell you more about patent databases and the skills you should have to search those bases. Also, I wanted to mention that Serbia is a member state of European Patent Convention and has close cooperation with European Patent Office in examining applications. Our methodology of examination is in line with European, and our examiners are trained in European Patent Office. You can also file a national, international PCT application and European patent application via our office, and you can do it online. Our online services meet the highest standards because it is important to preserve the secrecy of patent application before its publication in the Intellectual Property Gazette and before they enter into the state of the art and into the patent databases. Creating a brand is a very complex task because the brand is identify of specific products, service, or business. A brand is a broader concept than an individual property rights, but to create a successful brand, it is necessary to protect a product or service with relevant intellectual property rights. As I said at the beginning, Intellectual Property Office is responsible for granting patents and petty patents. A patent is a right granted for the invention in any field of technology which is new, involves an inventive step, and have industrial utilization. The owner of a patent has the exclusive right to commercial exploitation of the protected invention. He has also the right to prevent any third party from using the protected invention on the market. Patent lasts 20 years from the date of filing, and after that, it is free to be used by anyone. A petty patent gives its owner the same right as a patent, with the main difference, the subject matter of protection. Because with a patent, you can protect a product and process, but with a petty patent, you can protect only a solution relating to a construction of a product or the layout of its components. Also, the duration of petty patent is 10 years. You can protect trademark with Intellectual Property Office, and it can be any word, phrase, symbol, design, or combination of these things that identify your goods or services. It is how customers recognize you in the marketplace and distinguish you from your competitors. Trademark is obtained for 10 years, but it can be extended without any time limit. Next right is industrial design, and it is the right that protects the visual design of the object. An industrial design can be two or three-dimensional pattern used to produce a product, industrial commodity, or handicraft. Then you can protect before our office geographical indication, and it is a sign used on a product that have a specific geographical origin and the process qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. In our office, we registered 79 geographical indications, such as carpets from Pirot, meat from Leskovac, also Ivar from Leskovac, cabbage from Futog, and many others. And I hope that at the end of this workshop, you will mention some of these geographical indications when you explain why to visit Serbia, because we have a really good food and products here in Serbia. And I wanted to say that the listed rights are industrial property rights, and and their protection requires registration with the Intellectual Property Office. Trade secret and copy and related rights do not require registration. A trade secret is any information. It could be practice or process of a company that is generally not known outside of the company. Information considered a trade secret gives the company an economic advantage over its competitors, and it is often a product of internal search and development. This right is especially important at the beginning of the creation of innovation, because every IP right becomes with a secret. So inventors do not disclose preliminary research of their innovations, so not to jeopardize the novelty of invention. Companies do not disclose the date of placing a new product on the market, and so on. Also, I wanted to mention that trade secret is important for protection non-technological innovations. The most common way to protect the trade secret is via non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement, so-called NDA agreement. And for a copyright, I wanted to say it's a legal privilege given to the owner to publish and sell his original work during the creator's life plus 70 years. Copyright arises by the creation of copyright work, and the registration is not required, as I mentioned at the beginning. The only IP right which is not in our competence is plant breeders' right, and the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for recognizing this right. It was briefly about IP rights, and now I would like to tell you a few words about the support to innovators that our office provides. Our office has developed several forms of support for innovators and creative people to recognize their intellectual property and to protect it in the right way. We organize in-house and online seminars with specific topics in the field of intellectual property. We have open day when our experts advise interested persons. And we have also IP pre-diagnosis. That is a specific service of our office, and that service has been designed for all enterprises wishing to assess their potency in the area of intellectual property and to use it for their development. This service represents an evaluation of intellectual property factors of any enterprise by the placement of IP into appropriate context and taking into account a lot of parameters. You can reach us in Belgrade, Knjaginje Ljubice 5, and this is our website where you can find information on how to protect your innovations with IP rights. Now, thank you for your attention. I wish you a successful workshop, and now I will leave you with Natasha, who will tell you more about protection innovations with patents.
Thank you, Alexandra. I will just adjust my audio so you can hear me better. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Natasha Milovanovic, and I work as a patent examiner. I'm also the head of Mechanical, Electrical, and General Engineering Department at Patent Sector. And today I will be introducing you to the patents. So we will see what a patent is, what a patent protects, how a patent is obtained, and at the end we will see through one case study how that works in reality. The details surrounding all these topics are included in the laws and regulations. And my goal today is to give you useful facts that will enable you to understand the basic of patents and not to go in things how too far into the complexity of patent law and patent examination practice. But during my presentation, I will provide you links to the web pages where you can explore in details all the information you need. As Alexander has already mentioned, intellectual property is divided into two main groups. And our topic today are patents. They belong to the group called industrial property rights. And the main characteristic of these rights is that they must go through formal procedure of registration in order to be valid. So if you want to have a patent, you must prove that all the requirements in your invention are in the line with requirements in our law. I also like to start my presentation by asking participants what is invention. And we saw in previous both presentation some kind of definition, but usually people say that invention is something new, something unique. And for us, that's more requirement that invention must fulfill. In our, let's say, patent world, invention is technical solution to a technical problem. We say that invention is actually technical teaching. That's instruction addressed to the person skilled in the art, how to solve particular technical problem using technical means. So the technical aspect of invention in patent is mandatory. Inventions can be made in all fields of technology. And in our patent system in Serbia, inventions are protected by two rights, by patents or petty patents. Petty patent is something like useful model in another country. So basically it's the same form. Patent is a legal title. It is a right granted to the holder to prevent others from commercial exploitation of protected invention. That means that if you are the patent owner, no one is allowed to use your technology without asking you. So you can forbid everyone to use your technology, or you can decide who can use it. Sometimes we say that patent is considered as a contract between an inventor or society. The inventor is interested in benefiting personally from his invention and from these exclusive rights granted to him to prevent others from exploiting the invention. And on the other side, society is interested in learning the details of new knowledge, of new inventions, accepting that knowledges and further improved it. So that's the way how we as society develop ourselves in that technical sense. So patent as a document can be a legal document because it gives legal right to the owner, but also can be technical document because it gives the details of new knowledge to the public. As any other contract, patents also have some limitations. First is, let's say, substantive limitation. Protection is granted only for the features of the invention which are clearly stated in one part of the patent documents called claims. every time. So every time when examiners speak about invention, we actually mean to what is being defined in the claims, not what the inventor's idea of the invention was. Patents also provide rights to inventors for a limited period of times. It is 20 years from filing date. If the annual fees are not paid, the patent will collapse and the inventor can lose his or her patent's right. After the expiration of 20 years, patents are in public domain, which means they are free to use. Patents are also territorial rights, meaning that exclusive rights are only applicable in the country in which a patent has been granted. So for all patents that are not valid in Serbia, they are actually free to use. Let's see now on one very simple example what actually scope of patent protection is. And let's say that person A has invented and patented the wheel, and patent is enforced in Serbia. After some time, the person B has invented and patented the bicycle, and this patent is also enforced in Serbia. So what do you think? Who can make and sell bicycles in Serbia? Is it a person A? Is it a person B? You can put your answers in chat.
I think the person B can make and sell the bikes, but also have to buy the patent or ask for the right to person A because he's using the wheel for the bikes.
Yeah, that's the truth. Exactly. Sorry, something. So that's correct. In this case, nobody can make or sell the bicycle. Person A cannot do it because it has not right to produce other parts of bicycle. It can only do it if it has a license from person B or if he wants to risk the lawsuit from person B. Person B cannot do it without, as you said, it has not the right to produce the wheel. So he can only do it if he has a license from person A or he wants to risk the lawsuit. How this would in practice be handled? Usually the person A and person B will cross licensing, so give each other the licensing so both can be producers of bicycle. Now, maybe you ask yourself how it's possible to have a patent and not to have, or how it's possible to get the patent when somebody else's patent is incorporated in your. Let's say don't confuse patentability and infringement. These are two different things. When you ask yourself, is my invention patentable? It doesn't matter if it falls within the scope of the claims of another patent or if that patent is still in force. The question is whether the teaching in the document as whole anticipates or hints at your invention. So that is the situation here. What can be patented? Patents are granted for any invention in all fields in technology, but subject matter can be product, which means a device or composition or biological material, or can be a process like process of manufacturing something. So everything that you invent must be in one of those two categories. There are some exceptions to patentability, and the first exception is inventions whose commercial exploitation would be contrary to the public or morality. This kind of inventions cannot be protected by patents. And the purpose of this exception is to deny protection to inventions likely to induce some kind of public disorder or to lead to criminal behavior. Second, exceptions are for methods for treatment of the human or animal body by surgery or therapy, and diagnostic methods which are practiced on the human or animal body. And this is here for, let's say, ethical reason. It is not fair that some doctor has monopoly on some treatment that would save a lot of lives. But this provision shall not apply to products like instruments or medicaments which are used in any of these methods. So instruments and compositions and drugs are patentable, and they are not fall into this category. And the third group that cannot be patented are plants or animal varieties. They belong to intellectual property, but they are not protected by patents. They are protected by special law called breeder's right. And this is the law administered by Ministry of Agriculture. Also, there are some things, some activities that are excluded for patentability. Discoveries, scientific theories, mathematical methods, aesthetic creation, business methods, methods for playing games, for performing mental acts, computer programs, and presentation of information, if claimed are such, are excluded from patentability. Why is this restriction? What is in common for all these things or activities? As you remember, my first slide, we defined invention as a technical solution. And all the things here, all the things listed here are not technical if we see them as such. And that's why they cannot be regarded as invention and cannot be patentable. If you make computer program as such, which means if you want to protect the open code, then that is not possible. But if you make computer program which has some technical features and it is not claimed as such, then it is possible to get patent if all other criteria are fulfilled. What are other criteria? To be patentable, inventions must be new, must involve an inventive step, and must be industrial applicable. And these are criteria that patent examiner are going to look at when they're judging whether to grant a patent or not. In order to get the patent, you must fulfill all of these criteria. What is novelty? Novelty is usually the first criteria that we check during the examination. And invention can be patented only if it's new. According to the definition, invention is considered to be new if it does not form the part of the state of the art. So the purpose of this criteria is to prevent the state of the art being patented again. And by state of the art, we mean everything made available to the public by means of written or oral description, by use or in any other way before the date of the filing the patent application. So new means that there must have been no public disclosure of an invention before the patent application was officially filed. A lot of people think that state-of-the-art is just a written publication, and I must say it's not. If you have been to a conference and you give out the details about your invention to the audience, you have put information of your invention into the public domain. Also, if you have been to the coffee shop last week and you have been discussing your invention with a group of people and there was no explicit confidential bond, you have put also your information into the public domain. So for this reason, it is vitally important to keep all the details of your invention confidential, at least until the date of your patent application is granted. Patent examiners will, during the examination process, do a Google search on the inventors. We will say, okay, let's see what the inventors been doing lately. And very often, especially for inventors that are coming from university, we find some kind of paperwork, which sometimes destroy the novelty of the invention. Since novelty is absolute criteria, it is not important who has disclosed the invention. The only thing that matters is when the disclosure was made. So I will say once again, the highlight of my presentation is, if you want to patent something, you should keep it confidential until you apply for a patent. And very often for people who work as a researcher or work at the university, they have some kind of dilemma because publishing is very important for them. And they ask, should I patent something? Should I publish? That is not really a dilemma. You can do both. You must just choose the perfect time for each activity. If you want to publish something, you must first file a patent application. Let's see now on one practical example, what kind of prior art can kill the patent. And I will use this example to illustrate the concept of novelty and the concept of prior art. In 1964, in one harbor, the ship sank, and the ship was carrying 5,000 sheep that started decomposing the harbor's water. So it was a very important thing to raise this ship as quickly as possible. And the Dutch inventor came up with a method for raising this sunken ship by filling it with floating bodies fed through one tube. And in December 1966, this method was saved the ship. But before that, the inventor filed an application in Dutch patent office. And according to the patent claim, the method consists of floating bodies which are inserted into the sunken vessel 4 through a tube 3 and from a ship which was salvaged. However, although this method was in practice very successful, the office found an old issue of the Donald Duck magazine, which showed the exactly same application invention, so the application was refused. While in 1949, and that's 15 years prior to our inventor, the Donald Duck shows with his nephew how raising ship can be brought to the surface by filling it with ping pong balls through a tube. And since ping pong balls are floating bodies, which they were fed to the yacht through a tube, the Donald Duck episode disclosed the same features as our invention. And that was the reason why the patent was refused. So you can see on this example, this any disclosure can be X killing disclosure for the invention. The second criterion that we examine is inventor step. And the question, is their inventive step only arise if the invention is new? We say that invention shall be considered as involving an inventive step if, having regard to the state of the art, it is not obvious to the person skilled in the art. This is the definition, and novelty is always black and white issue, while you must find in one document identical technical features. Inventive step, because of that definition, may be a, let's say, gray issue, and it may sound like a subjective issue of the examiner, because you must decide that something is not obvious to the person skilled in the art. And in order to assess inventive step in an objective and predictable manner, the examiners in our office apply a special method called problem solution approach. And later on, I will show you on example how in practice this approach works. But before that, just to understand the whole concept of inventive step, it is very important to understand the meaning of this definition. So state of the art is same as for novelty. That is everything made available to the public by means of a written or oral description, by use or in any other way before the date of filing of patent application. Obvious is something that does not involve the exercise of any skill or ability that goes beyond things that are expected of the person skilled in the art. So obvious is something that combination, the known combination of two known elements, for example, is obvious, or use of a known alternative solution is also obvious. And person skilled in the art is a fictional person that is average expert in particular technical field of the invention. He has access to the all knowledge in that field of technique, but he has no inventive ability. So he has all the information, but he cannot think creative, let's say.
Sorry, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes.
So who would be then the person that makes this distinction? Who is the one deciding who is an expert in the field and not, and what is obvious and not?
Well, during the patent procedure, that will be patent examiner who will put himself in the role of person skilled in the art. And the existing knowledge will be determined according to the state of the art. We will see later on the example, maybe it will be easy to understand, but it is sometimes hard for us examiners to forget our knowledge that we have and to just play the role of the person skilled in the art. But in our guidelines, there are detailed explanation of person skilled in the art and his abilities. So every inventor, before apply for a patent, can, let's say, predict how the person skilled in the art will react. The third criteria is industrial application. an invention shall be considered as able of industrial application if it can be made or used in any kind of industry, including agriculture. And industry is understood in its broad sense as including any physical activity of technical character. We rarely use these criteria to reject patents application. Almost every invention fulfill these criteria. Example of the invention that are not in line with this requirement would be, for example, devices or processes alleged to operate in a manner clearly contrary to well-established physical laws, like perpetual motion machine. These are kind of inventions that are not fulfilled this criteria. So what are important moments in patents life? How the procedure of examination looks like? The basic stages of getting patents are first stage is, of course, filing, which means that inventor or applicant must file a patent application. After that, the office will do the search to determine what relevant prior art is. 18 months after the priority date or after the filing date, the application is published. After that, the office will check all the criteria and make a decision to grant or to refuse the patent application. When patent is granted, it is published, so the public is informed about new patent, and that's when the official procedure ends. But there are also two things very important for the life of a patent. One is revocation. After the patent has been granted, it may be opposed by third parties, usually but not necessarily the applicant's competitors. If they believe that a patent should not have been granted, for example, because it lacks novelty or inventive step, they can ask the revocation of patent. And another thing is enforcement. Patent is individual right. So after the grant, it is the task of the owner to take care that somebody not infringe the rights of the patent. Now we will go through the procedure with one, let's say, simple invention. And this is electricity generating device driven by rainwater. So our inventor saw that a lot of rainwater go to the waste, and he decided to put in a drain pipe, which is here stated as 1, turbine wheel, and this turbine wheel is linked to a dynamo, which is here by number 3, and the turbine wheel and the dynamo are both stated inside the drain pipe, and using the turbine wheel, we will generate electricity. So that's our invention. And now we can see how would the whole process of examination look like for this invention. As I said, first stage is to file patent application. And I must say that patent application is not just a simple form that you fill in name, address, title of the invention and send to the patent office. Patent application is basically a book on your invention, and it might be 10, 20, 100 pages that describes all details of your invention, all details of technical aspect of your invention. In order to start the procedure, the applicant must prepare this documentation, must prepare the application. And the basic components of patent applications are a request for grant of a patent, that is a form, a description of the invention, which is actually summary of the technical problem, prior art, and detailed explanation or disclosure of the invention, one or more claims which determine the extent of protection confirmed by a patent, any drawings referred to in the description or in the claims, and drawings and description are used to interpret the claims. And abstract, that's about 150 words that can be used as a search tool for other patent application. So when you prepare and file your patent application, the office will make formal examination, and this involves checking on whether all the necessary formal requirements are fulfilled, and if all the information and documents has been provided, so the application can be accorded with the filing date. So in our case, we have no time to draft the whole application, but in our case, the claims for invention can be the invention is a system to produce electrical energy by rainfall. It is characterized that system comprising a rain pipe, a turbine wheel installed in rain pipe, and a dynamo which is connected to said turbine wheel. So this is the technical explanation of our invention. We can set one claim, that is the independent claim, but if we have some specific additional features, we can define them in dependent claim. In our case, that is the second claim. And our special additional feature is that turbine wheel is made of stainless steel. So these are the claims, and these are the topic for our examination. Next phase is search and search report. And after the formalities examination is being carried out, a search report is drawn up. And in search report, we are listing all the documents which were available to the office that might be relevant to assessing novelty and inventive step. The search report is based on the patent claims, but also, as I said, takes into the consideration the description and drawing. And immediately after the search report has been drawn up, the search report is sent to the applicant. So the applicant has the information what are the chances regarding the final positive decision. How we do the search at our office, where do we do the search? Well, we try to do the search anywhere we might find the information we needed and which are relevant to our case. That means that we search not only patent literature, but also non-patent literature. And we have internal databases, which are the same as databases used by examiners at European Patent Office. We have more than 100 different databases, but we also do the search through internet, web pages, and stuff like that. Something that I won't recommend for your searches is database ESPASnet. This database is free and it is administered by European Patent Office. So it contains more than 130 million patent documents. Since searching is very complex, we have not enough time to do it during this presentation, but I want to say that our office organizes workshops and webinars, how to search as PassNet and how to read patent documents. So if you are interested in this topic, please follow the news on our website and you can apply for one of those workshops. In our case, how would the search look like? Well, we will choose the keywords that explains our invention. And in our case, that can be rainwater, electricity, and turbine. And using these criteria, the database found 51 results document, which is not too much. So we can go through this 51 document and find maybe 3 or 4 which are the most relevant for our case. Concrete, that would be these 2 documents, document 1, document 2. They both show the rain pipe with turbine. And we are going to use this document to prove is invention new and does it involve inventive step. But before substantive examination, as a part of examination process, we have publication. The application is published normally together with the search report 18 months after the date of filing. They may, however, be published before this date if requested by the applicant and provided that the relevant fees have been paid. The publication must contain the description, the claims, and any drawings of the application, and it must also specify the names of the person designated as the inventor. So when application is published, all those information are publicly available through different databases. All Serbian publications are available to the public via our publication server, which is on our website. Why is publication important? Well, provisional protection is obtained upon publication, which means that applicant may claim reasonable compensation from third parties if they copying his invention. However, the patent does not convey any rights to enforce the patent is monopole until the date of the grant. Publication is also important because after publication, third parties may present observation to the office on the patentability of the invention to which it relates, which means that they can supply office with the state of the art, saying you should not grant patent for this invention because it is not new, and then gave us some proof for these claims. And during the substantive examination, the office will consider all this observation. After the publication, the applicant must ask the substantive examination. And following that request for examination, the application is transferred to the substantive examination. And during substantive examination, examiner consider the patentability of the application, whether the invention is new, involve an inventive step, or is it capable of industrial application, and does not fall within the excluded subject matter, and some other requirements such whether the invention as disclosed in the application can be reproduced, is it all clear, or whether any amendments go beyond the disclosure of the application as originally filed. If the examination reveals that the application or the invention to which it released does not meet the requirements of the law, the examiner will raise the appropriate objection, and the applicant after that may provide counter argument or amend the claim so that they overcome this objection. Otherwise, the application will be refused. In our example, how the novelty test look like? Well, the first step in deciding whether the invention is new is to define the relevant prior art and the content of that relevant prior art. In our case, state-of-the-art or prior art is document shown in this picture, and it is power generated using rainwater. It consists of a cylindrical case body attached to the roof. That's reference sign 1. Further, it consists of a plurality of power generating sections vertically arranged in rainwater flow passage, and each of the power generating section is provided with a water turbine rotated by the receiving rainwater, and this turbine is made of aluminum. So the next step is to compare the invention with the prior art, and a useful tool that helps interpret the claims in its widest reasonable meaning is the so-called feature analysis. This essentially consists of listing all the technical features of the claim against the features of the prior art. And the features of the claims are then compared with those of the prior art. And each feature is attributed the basic meaning that is normally in that technical field. If one or more of these features are missing in the prior art, then the objection of the claim is new. So if we compare all of our features listed in claim 1, we will see that state-of-the-art has all of these features. It is a system that produces electrical energy by rainfall. It has a rain pipe, it has turbine wheel, and it has dynamo. So the claim 1 is not new, but in claim 2, we have the features that turbine wheel is of stainless steel, and in our case, the turbine wheel is made from aluminum, which is the difference. So the claim 1 is not new because all the features are held in the state of the art, but the claim 2 is new because that feature is not in our state of the art. Since we have one claim that is new, the next step is to check, is that difference inventive, or is it obvious to the person skilled in the art? As I said, for inventive step, we use problem solution approach. And that approach consists of 5 questions. The first is, what is the closest prior art? In our case, that's the document shown in the picture. What is the difference between the claim and our prior art? Well, the difference is the turbine wheel is made of stainless steel instead of the normal steel, or instead of the aluminum. What is the effect caused by this difference? Well, with stainless steel, the turbine wheel have better corrosion resistance. What is the objective technical problem solved by this difference? That's how to improve the corrosion resistance of the turbine wheel. And finally, question is, would the skilled person solve this problem in the claim based on his knowledge or knowledge from the prior art? And the answer is yes, because stainless steel is well-known solution for improving the corrosion of water turbines. So in our case, the claim 1 is not new. The claim 2 is not new, but is not inventive because it is obvious to the person skilled in the art. Once the requirements, all the requirements are satisfied, the decision to grant the patent will be issued, and the mention of the grant is published in our Gazette. The office also published the patent specification containing the description, claims, and any drawings. So as well as patent application, all granted patents are also publicly available. For more information, please visit our website. In our section, patent section, you will find everything regarding the patents, forms and guidelines, all the legislation text, registered IP agents, and so on. And also you can follow us on our social media, because there we announce all the workshop and all the events regarding not only the patent, but also the other IP rights. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please, I'll be happy to answer.
I think everything is clear.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, Natasha, very much, and Alexander too, for a very useful presentation. Now we will have a long coffee break. So the next session will start at 11:40. So take a break, stretch your legs, and see you in 30 minutes.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sonia Josipovic. I am assistant professor in economics from the Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy in Belgrade. And I will present to you the lecture about the business model. At the beginning, I will share my presentation with you. Just a moment. Okay, so let's start this lecture about the business model. At the beginning, I would like to start from the objectives of this my presentation. So I will present to you at the beginning what are the main course learning outcomes, what you may expect from this course about the business model. After this lecture about the business model, you should be able to understand why business models are important, why they are so popular within the business community. So you should be able to describe after this lecture the main elements of a business model. And during my presentation, I will try to present you the 9 key elements of each business model. Also, after this course, you should be able to explain what the business model canvas is, and you will see the business model canvas is the first visual business tool, a shared language for developing new, but also for analyzing existing business models. So today, entrepreneurs always use this tool in order to quickly define and communicate their business ideas. So after this course, you should be able to explain why the business model canvas would be useful to apply when entrepreneurs develop ideas, innovations, new products, and new technologies and new services, which they present to the market. Also, you should be able to show how the business model canvas works and to explain why a good value proposition. We will talk about this, what is a good value proposition, and you should be able to explain why a good value proposition is central to a successful good and strong business model. Today, every entrepreneur creates business models. They use the business model canvas as a tool by which they can easily and quickly define and communicate their ideas. Many empirical research show that today a major mistake made by many startups around the world is focusing on the technology, on the software, on the product, on the service, and on design, but they're neglecting to ever figure out the business. And here, by business, we simply mean the way by which entrepreneur makes money by acquiring and serving its customers. So the role of the business model is to help entrepreneur to figure out the business, to be able to explain, to develop, and to show how he will make money by acquiring and serving its customers. During my presentation, I will try to give you the best answer on the question, how do entrepreneurs create a business model? At the beginning of our lecture, we can say that good and strong business model is created by identifying the products and services that will be sold in the market to be targeted. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the origins to see where did the term, the business model, come from. The search to define what the business model is goes far back in 1994 when Peter Drucker introduced his theory of the business in an article for the Business Harvard Review. And he speaks how companies failed to keep up with changing marketing conditions and about their duty to identify customers and competitors, to analyze their values and behavior. So you will see in the heart of the business models are customers. Not a single company can exist without its customers. So it's very important for the good business model to know who is our most important customer, who are our most important customers. In the middle of the 2002, John Margaret said that the business models are stories that explain how enterprises work. And in order to create good and strong business model, it's very important to give the answer on two questions. Who is the customer? Who are the most important customers? And what does the customer value? What does it mean when we say what does the customer value? What are the benefits that entrepreneur can offer its customers in order to meet their needs or solve their problems? So for the good and strong business models, it's very important to start from these two questions. And we can ask, what is a good business model? We can say that the good business model is the one that provides the company a competitive edge in the industry, leading to good business profits. Today, every entrepreneur or company make a plan for generating profits. They create a model in order to identify products and services that they will sell at the market. Also, they identify markets to be targeted, and also they project revenues and costs. So this process of identifying products and services, identifying the markets, the projections of revenue and cost is called the business model. Even if the business is already established or if it is a new business, a plan needs to be made. So today, every entrepreneur, every successful company creates business model. They make a plan about how they will generate profit by acquiring and serving its customers. We can ask the question, why is a business model important? First, the business model helps entrepreneur to target his customer base, to identify specific customer segments, but also the business model helps entrepreneur to develop its marketing strategies and to project revenues and costs of his business. Also, every investor needs to review the business model in order to get knowledge about the company's competitive edge. By reviewing business model, entrepreneur can helps investors to get the overall view about the company's products, its business strategies, and future prospects. So the main advantages of a business models are, first, a good business model gives the company a competitive edge in the industry. Also, strong business model provides the company good reputation in the marketplace. Why this is important? Because this is important, strong business model must provide the company good reputation in the marketplace by ensuring that investors remain invested in the company. Also, strong business model leads to an ongoing business profit, leading to increasing the new investments. And also, proven business models brings a financial stability in the organization. Business model can provide a snapshot of a business that entrepreneur can easily present to stakeholders, investors, without providing the full business plan. So today, business model is mandatory to create before starting off a new project. In 2005, Osterwalder and Pinar created the business model canvas. The business model canvas is the first visual business tool, a shared language for describing, visualizing, assessing, and changing business models. They said that the main role of the business model is to describe how an organization, how an entrepreneur creates, delivers, and captures value. So always remember this definition of the business model. The role of the business model is to describe how entrepreneur creates, delivers, and captures value. The business model helps us to model business before it is actually launched. With business model, we can very easily describe what we are going to do in the future and how we are going to do it. What is the business model canvas? It's the visual representation you can see on the slide, the visual representation of the 9 key building blocks that forms the foundations of every successful business. It's a blueprint that helps entrepreneurs to invent, design, and build business models. Also, you can see on the slide, this is a template, a one-page document for developing new, but also for analyzing existing business models. The business model canvas provides an organized way to lay out entrepreneur assumptions, So not only about key activities and key resources of entrepreneur value chain, but also about customer relationships, customer segments, channels, value proposition, key partners, revenue streams, and the cost structure. You can see on the slide that this tool lays out both what entrepreneur do. So see this right side of the business model canvas, which shows us who entrepreneur help, what entrepreneur do, how he interact with its customers, how he reaches his customers, and how much he will make. Also, the business model canvas lays out how entrepreneurs go about doing this. That's the left side of the business model canvas. How entrepreneurs do it, what he needs, who will help him, and what will it cost. So you can see that the business model canvas gives us both vision and clarity. This is the tool for modeling the business before the business is actually launched. So we can ask the question why we use the business model canvas, why it is so popular within the business community. It's simplicity. The business model canvas allows us to carry out a high-level analysis without getting lost in details. It's just a snapshot of our business, vision of our business. First, the business model canvas helps us to quickly draw a picture of what the idea entails. It's a visual overview of entire business on a single canvas. The next advantage of the business model canvas is that it allows us to get an understanding of entrepreneurs' business and to go through the process of making connections between what the idea is, that's the right side of the business model canvas, and how to make it into a business. That's the left side of the business model canvas. Also, this tool allows everyone, not just entrepreneur, but also the stakeholders, investors, to get customers, to get a clear idea of what the business will likely be. And we can see on the slide the four main advantages, the four main characteristics of this visual business tool for developing and analyzing existing business model. First is the creation of a shared language. This is very simple, visual, practical tool. And this is the tool that helps entrepreneurs to discover opportunities and to iterate quickly. First, the concept can become a shared language that allows entrepreneurs to easily describe and manipulate business models in order to create new strategic alternatives. This is the tool which is perfect to use for any good meeting, discussion, workshop on the business model innovation. This is the tool that everybody understands. This is the tool that facilitates discussion and description. Also, with this tool, entrepreneur can easily discover opportunities by listing the different parts of a business on a canvas. Entrepreneur starts to understand different relationships between the 9 building blocks that make up the tool. Also, with this tool, we can iterate quickly, or we can say we can easily change every day our business model. The tool helps us to prototype a first version of a business plan, but then we can easily change every block of the business model canvas in order to provide good and strong business model, in order to test enough ideas to find the best product market fit. So these are the main advantages of this visual business tool, which entrepreneurs use not only for developing new business models, but also for analyzing existing business models. Because at the beginning, entrepreneur creates its first business model, but he will every day try to modify and to make some changes of the business model created by this tool called the business model canvas. The business model canvas provides entrepreneur with a tool to analyze, structure, and involve business, but while always keeping in front the bigger picture front in mind. So the business model canvas approach is a good way to force entrepreneur to always focus on the most strategically important parts of the innovation, product, or service. And you can see the business model canvas framework gives both vision and clarity. You can see the whole business on one paper, so it's a template. The business model canvas can be described through 9 building blocks. So let's see what are these blocks. Customer segments, value proposition, channels, customer relationships, then revenue streams. These are 5 blocks on the right side of the business model canvas. Then key resources, key activities, key partners, and the cost structure. So these are 4 blocks on the left side of the business model canvas. How to start? To create the business model canvas, the best way is to fill out what entrepreneur do. So that's this right side of the business model canvas, to see what entrepreneur do or wants to do. And this right side of the business model canvas focuses on the customers. This is the external focus of the canvas. So you can see that everything starts from the customers. Customers comprise the heart of any business model. Not a single company can exist without its customers. So without profitable customers, no company can survive for a long period of time. So that's the reason why we start from the right side of the canvas, from the customers. The left side of the business model canvas focuses on the business. That's the internal focus of the canvas. So on the left side of the canvas, we can see what we need internally in order to deliver our value propositions to our target customer base, to our identified customer segments. So you will see, we will always fill the canvas from the right side. First, we fill the right side of the canvas, and then we will move to the left side of the canvas to see what we need internally in order to deliver our value propositions. Why this is important? In this way, entrepreneur will always keep in mind, his focus will always be on the idea, on the main goal of its business. So we must start from a blank canvas, and then we will fill every block of the business model canvas by adding notes with keywords. And for this, it's very useful to use sticky notes, because with sticky notes, we can very easily modify every block of the business model canvas. But remember, be careful not to fall in love with first idea, not to fall in love with the first version of your business model, because it's very important to modify every day the blocks of the business model canvas. It's important to sketch out alternative models for the same product, service, or technology, to test different ideas in order to find the best product market fit, in order to find good and strong business model created by the canvas. This 9 block of the business model canvas cover 3 main areas of a business: desirability, viability, and feasibility. Desirability is covered by 4 blocks of the business model canvas: customer segments, value propositions, channels, and customer relationships. Viability is covered by 2 blocks: cost structure and revenue streams. And feasibility is covered by 3 blocks: key resources, key activities, and key partners. It's recommended completing each block of the canvas by following order. You can see the numbers on the slide. First, we start from the customer segments, then value propositions, channels, customer relationships, revenue streams. So we first fill this right side of the business model canvas, and then we will move on the left side of the business model canvas to fill key resources, key activities, key partners, and at the end, the cost structure. At the end of the canvas, we will ask ourselves, how much is it to cost to run this business model? So let's start from the first block of the business model canvas, which is recommended to be filled. It's the customer segments. Here, our task is to target the customer base. Our task is to identify our specific customer segments, to see who is our most important customer, who are our most important customers. So the first block, which is recommended to be filled when creating a business model by the business model canvas, customer segments, is about understanding who is the most important customers, who are the most important customers, or in other words, who are they? What do they do? Why would they buy a product or service that entrepreneur offers on the market? Here is very important to very shortly, to give a short answer on 2 questions. Who are our most important customers, or for whom are we creating value? And the second question is, what are the characteristics of people who are looking for our value proposition? Are they another businesses? If so, what are the characteristics of those businesses? Are they other people? If so, are they men, women, or are they teenagers or young adults aged 20 to 30 years old? It's very important to remember that here we just have to give a snapshot of our customer segment, of our most important customer segments, of the customer segments that we choose to serve. Customers are very important because customers comprise the heart of any business model. Without profitable companies, without profitable customers, no company can survive for a long period of time. So it's very important to identify our main customer segments. And this first block of the business model canvas is defines the different groups of peoples or organization that enterprise aims to reach and serve. We can see on the slide different types of customer segments: the mass market, the niche market, segmented market, diversified market, and multi-sided market. Here, customer segmenting is the practice of dividing customer base into groups of individuals that are similar in specific ways, such as age, gender, or income. And here, a business model may define one or several big or small customer segments, and entrepreneur must make decision about which customer segments to serve and which customer segments to ignore. In order to better satisfy customers, entrepreneur may divide them into distinct segments with common needs, with common behavior or other attributes. So here is very important to choose which customer segments are we targeting. Customer groups represent separate segments if their needs require and justify a distinct offer, if they are reached through different distribution channels, if they require different types of relationships, and if they have substantially different profitabilities, and if they are willing to pay for different aspects of the offer. So I said that we have 5 types of customer segments. The mass market. In the case of the mass market, there is no specific segmentation for a company. What is the mass market? We have one big customer segment with very similar problems, characteristics, and needs. For example, Coca-Cola. In the case of niche market, we have one customer segment, but with specific, special requirements. In the case of segmented market, the customer segment is divided by slight differences in needs and characteristics. In the case of diversified market, we have very different customer segments with different needs, problems, and characteristics. And in the case of the multi-sided market, we have mutually dependent customer segment. For example, companies like Visa and Maestro, they have multi-sided markets. How? Visa and Maestro offers their services to the holders, to the credit card holders, but also their clients are the clients of credit card holders who accept those credit cards. So for these companies, they have a mutually dependent market. Their clients are banks as credit card holders, but also clients of banks which accept to use these credit cards. Here is very important to remember that as a result of customer segmenting, the business model can define one or several customer segments. And these customer segments can be big or small. Now we can see how 2 companies, Nespresso and Zara, identified their customer segments. In the case of Nespresso, customer segment is comprised of people from high and higher middle class, technology oriented. But in the case of Zara, we have three distinct customer segments: men, women, and children. So in the case of Zara, we have segmented market. We have customer segment, which is divided by the gender. I will ask now you, can somebody tell another example of some company and their customer segment? Can you remember? Like Zara or Nespresso? No? Okay, we will continue with the presentation to see what is the next block of the business model canvas, which is recommended to be filled. Where are we now? We fill this first segment of the business model canvas, the customer segments. We identified our customer base, and now it's time to define the second block of the business model canvas, and that is the value proposition. Once we know exactly who it is we are targeting, or when we target our customer base, when we identified our specific customer segments, it's time to go further. It's time to look at what we as a company have to offer. So it's time to define our value proposition. And this is the second block of the business model canvas, which is recommended to be filled when we are creating a new business model for new innovation, new products, or new services. What is the value proposition? We can say that the value proposition describes the bundle of products and services that create value for the specific customer segment. And here we have to give the answer on two main questions. What bundles of products and services are we offering to each customer segment, which we identified in the beginning? Or what value do we deliver to the customer? Which customer needs are we satisfying, or which one of the customer problems are we helping to solve with our innovation, with our new product or a new service? So we can say that the value proposition is the collection of products and services that entrepreneur offers in order to meet the needs of its customers. We can say, always remember, when we say the value proposition, it's very important to ask ourselves what distinguishes our business from the competitors. What distinguishes entrepreneur from its competitors? So that's the value proposition. The value proposition could provide value through various elements such as newness, performance, design, brand, price, cost reduction, risk reduction, and convenience, usability. So when we look in these elements of the value proposition, what we can conclude? we can conclude that the value proposition can be quantitative, like price, but also the value proposition could be qualitative, like overall customer experience. This section of the business model canvas should capture what we provide to people that they value. So what is the good value proposition? A good value proposition addresses specific customers' pains or problems and offer customers the gain by meeting a specific need. So we can see that the value proposition is the reason why customers turn to one company over another. The value proposition is the interaction between what company offers and the reason of impulse customers have for purchasing. So here is very important just to give the short answer. What needs are we satisfying? Or what problems are we solving? So the good value proposition may satisfy a customer need, but also a good value proposition can solve a customer problem. That's the role of the value proposition. So once again, the value proposition is what distinguishes entrepreneur from its customers, and the good value proposition is the value is the benefit that offers entrepreneur in order to meet needs of its customers or in order to solve problems of its customers. So a good value proposition satisfies a customer need, but also a good value proposition may solve a customer problem. And here is very important just to give the answer how we can best define our value proposition when creating a business model by the business model canvas. Just ask yourself how we are helping our customers, how we can help our identified customer segments by satisfying the new set of needs. This means that some value proposition may be very innovative, may represent something new on the market, a new offer on the market, a new product, a new service, innovation. But also we can help our customers by improving the performance of a product or service. So some value propositions may be very similar to the existing marketing offers, but with added features and attributes. So we can help our customers by improving the performance of a product or service, but also we can help our customers by affording something they now can't. Okay. This is the first part of my presentation, and now we will have a short coffee break of 5 minutes, and then we will continue with this presentation to see other blocks of the business model canvas. Is there any question? Is everything clear? Do you have something to say, to give some comment? Everything is clear?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Thank you. Okay, we will have a short coffee break and then we will continue with presentation. Thank you and see you at 5 minutes.